The first thing to do to organizing layers is selecting layers to see what content is on the layers. So I have a bunch of unnamed layers here in my file. If I click on each layer once, Flash will automatically select the content on that layer. So when I click on the top layer, that plant in the front will be selected. So I can click on other layers and see what artwork is in those layers. For layers, it's good to have a name that gives an obvious description of the content that the layer contains. So a better name than layer 2 would be something like plant. So let's change the name of the layer by double-clicking the layer name. Now I don't want you to click the layer icon, just make sure you're double-clicking the name of the layer, and then you can edit the name of the layer. So I'll type plant right here, and now I've named the layer plant. So I can tell what's in that layer by its name. So let's go through the different layers and name them based on what content is in that layer. So I have layer 3 here. I'll double-click the name of the layer and change it to sand. Layer 4, that is water, so I'm going to call that water 1 because there are several different water layers in this file. So we'll call it water 1. Layer 5, that'll be water 2. Layer 6, that'll be water 3. Layer 7, this will be water 4. Layer 8 is the cactus, so we'll call that cactus. Layer 9 will be water 5. Layer 10 is water 6. And these text layers are already named, so we'll skip those. And layer 15 is the background, so I'll just call that BG. Now let's say I wanted to organize all the water layers so I can kind of group them together. You can group layers into something called folders in Flash. So above the water 1 layer, so I'll select the water 1 layer, and then I'll click the folder icon at the bottom left of the timeline to create a new folder. And now I can just drag these layers into that folder, and I have an organized place for all of my water elements. So before I do that, I'm going to double-click the folder name and change the name to water. And then I'm going to select the layers that contain water and click and drag them into the water folder. Notice that when I click and drag into the water folder, the line showing where I'm going to drop the water indents a little bit. That's showing that it's going to go inside of a layer folder. So notice that the layers that are inside the folder are indented. So I'm putting all those water layers in there. Now my water layer is expanded. You can tell by the down arrow to the left of the folder icon. And you can click that arrow and collapse the water layer so I have all the water inside of that water folder. So when you're working with layers, you can double-click a layer's name to change the name of the layer, and you can organize layers into groups by putting them in folders, which can be created by clicking the folder icon at the bottom left of the timeline.